Howdy Outlaws! Welcome to another edition of Sipping on the Porch. Raven and I are stringing and snapping some beans this evening. Garden done us pretty good today. Picked a whole bunch of beans, whole mess of beans. Got a few other things in. Worked on our new mailbox today. We've had problems with folks stealing mail. I guess you'll have that when there's a bunch of meth heads live 2 miles down the road from you. It's kind of like those big blue mailboxes that you put your letter in and drop it in. We designed it around that, except for this one's made out of wood.
It's really excessive. It's kind of an eyesore. Don't steal my mail. I'll get pissed off and put something ugly out there.
Made out of cedar.
It's actually not that ugly.
Looks really good. I was actually pretty impressed to come out as well as it did. And anyway, so we got in the garden this morning, picked beans, got a few other things, got a really funky looking cucumber. That's downstairs, so I can't really show it to you. But if you guys check out the Ewok Outlaw Moonshiner Instagram page, or the original Appalachian Outlaw Ewok Facebook page, there's pictures on there.
You know, I usually do this with 2 bowls, and we decided to put the strings in here. It's not working for me. That is just
Don't bother me at all.
It's against my nature. So what are you drinking tonight?
So this evening we are drinking some legal made liquor. Comes from my buddy Jimmy Jack's up in Pennsylvania. And
Right here.
Pappy's Peach comes from Bald Hills Distillery. They are in the process of changing locations, so they're actually not in production at the moment. But they will be back in production, so if you're ever up in Pennsylvania, be sure and check out Bald Hills Distillery. And be sure and tell them Ewok sent you. So what we usually are doing in the past few episodes is we've kind of talked about, Raven not understanding Appalachian.
You didn't even talk about the drinks. Y'all wait. Okay. So, he put this peach moonshine in some, what is that? Mango
nectar.
Mango nectar, that's what it is. It's really, really good. Okay, and so, can you see this? It's green juice. People call me kind of a hippie. But it's that Green Goodness by Bolt House Farms. I'm sure that I just ruined all the health benefits by adding alcohol. But it's fantastic with this peach moonshine. You want some?
Yeah, I haven't even tried that one yet. You haven't tried mine yet either, so you might as well here. You try mine, I'll try yours.
I did try yours. You just didn't see me do it.
That's pretty damn good. That's the way she rolls though.
Like mine better.
I like mine better.
I think you gave yourself more alcohol. I feel gypped.
Actually, I think you probably got more alcohol.
I don't taste it.
Well, it's because it's with good juice.
Well, that's what it is. It's just the good juice. It's just the good juice.
It's
you
the
just
good
can't taste
outweighing the bad.
Okay. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
So anyway, in past episodes, we've kind of talked about Raven and learning Appalachian and kind of me learning Ravenese. But, there are things that both of us grew up doing. Things like this. Stringing and snapping beans. We'll be canning. Well, actually, we're not going to can these. I forgot. We're going to boil and then blanch. We'll boil hot water, drop the beans in, then immediately put them in ice in an ice bath, and then we're going to freeze them.
We ran out of room in the canning cupboard, so time to fill up the freezer.
And we've actually got a few different stages of the beans here. These are the beans that we're putting away that we're snapping right now that you guys are watching. And then we also have these. But you see these aren't quite as green as these. These have started getting a little older. These are the ones we're actually going to cook this evening. Go with our pot pie. That the pot pie innards are the leftovers from last night. Yeah, innards are the leftovers from last night's.
Doesn't make me want to eat a pot pie, man.
Chicken stroganoff. It's really freaking awesome.
I have to say, chicken stroganoff is good. Don't ever call it innards again.
What's the innards of the pie?
No.
And you see, we let these stay on a little too long. These will be seed stock for next year.
That's right. Don't call it innards, man.
It's innards of the pie. So, what are some of the things that you did as a kid that, I've talked about doing? That, string and snapping beans. Something we both do those things
Yeah.
as a kid.
You sat on the porch with Granny or Grandpa or whoever was snapping beans, usually Granny. And snapped the beans and got them all ready. Being as I grew up Mormon, there was a lot of home processing of food. So, killing chickens, butchering those chickens, picking tomatoes, cherries, peaches, and then preserving it all of it. So,
tell them how you made money as a kid.
My grandfather had me convinced that it was absolutely my job to shoot birds out of the orchard. So he gave me 5 cents a bird, and now of course I feel horribly guilty. But I did become a really good shot. So that and picking moths off the produce that was growing in the garden, moths or caterpillars, the big funky looking tomato worm guys. For every one of those, I think I got a dime or something. I tried to convince him it was worth more.
So Raven actually is a really good shot. She wasn't bullshitting you. She's almost as good a shot as me with a rifle, and probably a little bit better than me with a pistol. She says it's the other way around, that she's a little bit better shot with a rifle and I'm a little better shot with a pistol.
Wow. That back thing is just shaking a whole lot. Sorry, guys.
We're trying a new camera holder this evening. Sorry.
Earthquake.
We just had one of those the other day.
Did you feel it? I didn't feel it.
I think I felt it. If it happened when I was driving, then I definitely felt it, because when I was driving north on I-81, there was a time that for 10 or 15 seconds that it felt like the truck was vibrating, like something was wrong with it.
So you think you were on the road when that happened?
I'm not sure.
Did you check the time?
I did not.
Oh.
But if it happened when I was driving, I definitely felt it, because there was something up with the truck. And my truck usually drives pretty dang well.
And did it go back to normal?
It went right back to normal after about 10 or 15 seconds.
Oh, then it was probably fine. Like I'm a mechanic of any kind. Yeah, it's just gonna be fine. It's shaky, but it'll hold up. Get some duct tape.
Well, if you can't fix it with baling twine, duct tape, or WD-40, it probably can't be fixed. You guys know what the deal is. If it moves and it shouldn't, you put duct tape on it. If it should move and it don't, you put WD-40 on it. Pretty simple, right?
Don't apply that to people.
Don't apply that to people.
Don't apply that to people. Oh, so I guess back on our subject.
Back
for
on
tonight
task.
Is the things that are similar in our background. Let's see. Here's a good one. Go outside. Don't come in. Leave me alone. Let me watch my soaps. If you're thirsty, there's a hose. If you're hungry, there's a garden.
Yep, I know all about that. Go outside and don't come back until it starts to get dark.
That's right. If you have to pee, you can use the bush. If you have to dookie, well, you got to come inside for that. And that's the only excuse. 10,000 degrees outside. You're sweating bullets. Don't care. There's a hose. Get wet.
Don't bother Mom while she's watching The Young and the Restless.
Oh God, The Young and the Restless. Did everybody's mom watch that?
My mom watched Young and the Restless.
I think that and the nighttime soap Dallas. Did you ever watch Dallas?
Dallas and Dynasty.
Dynasty. Oh man, I had to sneak to try to watch that. I had to crawl back behind the sofa and kind of peek out.
What, you weren't allowed to watch those?
No. I grew up Mormon.
Oh yeah, you grew up. They could watch it, but you couldn't.
Yes.
Okay, I understand. Do as I say, not as I do.
A lot of the, yeah, that's a lot of the situation. So, what else? Oh, geez. Fishing, hunting, you know, we kill rattlesnakes every year to eat those. We go fishing 2 or 3 times a year.
I don't kill rattlesnakes these days.
Okay.
I've eaten snake.
Do you got a problem with that?
Oh, I don't. I'm just saying that's not something I did. I didn't kill snakes to eat. About my killing snakes is if you catch a snake getting ready to get in your hens, or they're endangering your dogs, or something like that.
Except black snakes.
Except for black snakes. You don't ever kill a black snake.
Leave those black snakes
Black
alone.
snakes kill poisonous snakes. When I was filming for Appalachian Outlaws, old Greg Shook and I, we'd been filming down in on Bell Mountain in Georgia, and we were coming off of Bell Mountain after we'd been filming that day. Actually, we'd filmed the scene, if you guys watched the show, where I fell off the side of the mountain and old Georgia boy almost run off and left me, but he come back and saved me. I guess he felt bad because I come in and saved him that season. But anyway, I digress. So we're coming off the mountain from filming. I'm on point leading us off the mountain, and I hear, and I woke everybody up and I get to looking. Lo and behold, it's a black snake and a rattlesnake fighting.
Oh, you did get pictures of that, didn't you?
I did. I even got a little video of it.
Oh, do you have that on Facebook or something?
It was put on Facebook at one point in time. That was a long time ago.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
So, of course, this camera crew, they're shitting their pants trying to get their cameras out so they can film this. All along, I'm over here cheering on the black snake because that's what the hell I'm going to do. Well, I saw the black snake get struck like 4 or 5 times. You guys may not know black snakes are immune to venom of pit vipers.
They can still be punctured.
They can be punctured, but they're immune to the venom. So it's on. Black snake, rattlesnake, they're going at it. Well, old black snake.
Sorry, Pappy's Peach, we gotta move you.
The old black snake gets the rattlesnake in its mouth. Into the road for the rattlesnake. So, them boys are freaking out because now that this black snake has a rattlesnake in its mouth, I'm over there cutting the rattle off the rattlesnake. Yeah, I know it's a crime. But
Don't admit to crime on camera. My grandmother would be so disappointed right now. Don't waste the food. Don't play with it.
well, you know, I knew someone that would want the rattle off the rattlesnake. You know, and really, you know, how much more food does that rattle after that black snake's done digested this 4-foot long rattlesnake?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I never thought to ask whether or not they could digest the rattle, or if it would be problematic.
I think that it just comes out in poop and they don't digest it at all.
That bears the question, how many piles of black snake poo have rattles in them?
Probably quite a few. But yeah, the new guys are freaking out because I'm down here in the middle of this snake fight cutting rattles off of a rattlesnake. And of course, and that's been long enough now, they can't charge me with it anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's beyond the statute of limitations.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I feel like you just say things.
You feel like I just say
I
things?
feel like you just say things. Oh, hey, beans.
Yeah, that's a bean.
Yeah, it fell out. It's gonna have to go in the seed one.
Or it can go in tonight's.
I guess, yeah. We could have needed it.
So anyway, back to similar things. So we got sidetracked on the rattlesnake.
You and your big story about the rattlesnake. But so we did a lot of hunting and processing of stuff. Let's see, what else was similar? It was back in a time when, you know, I was just becoming a teenage girl. And
I bet you was a freaking handful.
not really. Actually, I was quite good. Until. So, anyway, the kids are all about the phone at that age, you know. They go from playing outside to wanting to talk on that phone. No wonder our parents wanted us to go the hell outside. They knew what was coming.
Yeah, I can see that.
Anyway.
They knew the telephone was about to be on.
So, my family had a way to get my attention. If I was outside and I received a phone call, they'd step out the door and shoot the shotgun. That sounds so country, doesn't it? But that's all right.
My mom would just tell them that I was outside playing, and that she'd take a message and I'd call her back.
Oh, well, I wasn't talking about my mom. I was talking about my grandparents. Somebody in my family.
So in the comments, you guys, you know, share with us things you did as a kid. Did you string and snap beans?
Lord, I remember working in the garden so hard picking tomatoes. Being Mormon, you have a lot of people. Like, you know everybody. So everybody would go to one garden and pick everything. That meant kids too.
Right.
Somebody has all their peaches come off at one time. Everybody's there, everybody's doing it. I don't even think people know how to do beans. I gave somebody beans this year, and they took them home, and they said that they didn't know you had to string them and snap them.
Well, they're used to getting them out of a can from the Walmart or from the grocery store.
That sounds terrible. I'm sorry.
So, you know, we'll have beans put away, and we'll be able to eat beans that we grew this year.
We got canned beans from last year. That's why I'm not doing cans this year again. You know, we're running out of space. And
We do still have canned green beans from last year.
So,
Dilly beans.
oh, I love dilly beans.
Dilly beans. I ain't gonna be nice enough to give you our recipe
Like it's a secret.
because it's a secret. But just go on and Google you a recipe for dilly beans, and even if you're getting a can of beans from the Walmart or the grocery store or whatever,
You can still doctor them.
you can doctor them with the dilly, and you'll still have dilly beans, because we've taken fresh canned beans that weren't dilly beans and dilly them. So
Yeah. So we talked about what we're going to have tonight for supper. We're having these beans over here, and we're having the leftover stroganoff made into a pot pie. But I
pie
want
innards.
gross, man. You're going to have to eat those pie innards yourself if you don't stop.
Pie innards? You mean I get the whole pot pie to myself?
You're going to get a whole something to yourself. Anyway, so I went ahead and made some ice cream. Well, ice cream mix, which is just 2 cups of milk, 2 cups of cream, and 1 cup of sugar, and then whatever else you want to put in it. So I used basil from the garden and oregano, and my sugar was brown sugar. Add a little cocoa powder in there, chocolate, basil, ice cream. It's going to be fabulous.
The mix tasted really, really good.
Oh yeah, I could have just ate the whole thing, but I didn't. Well, our beans are dwindling. Are you ready to say goodbye to your folks?
Well, I guess if our beans are dwindling, I probably should say bye. Folks, be good. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. Wash your hands. I love you, outlaws. Y'all have a good one. Don't do nothing I wouldn't.